My dear fellows, today I'll talk about this Trump's terrific tariff imposition worldwide, which has rocked the entire business world and doesn't augur well for the entire investment scenario. This unilateral decision of Trump imposing hefty tariff ranging from 40% to 145%. And this is being done in the name of safeguarding the business interest, investment gain, also trying to recover the leverage, a kind of ascendancy and supremacy that the US enjoyed for the last 50 years, almost after the Second World War. Post-Second World War, I would say, U.S. economy was almost 50% the world total wealth creation, and it has retained its dominance, it has retained its overbearing presence. No doubt it has developed and innovated and has been the hot seat of science and research, education on education front. They have had the best of the education institutions going forward with lots of funding for researchers, and they could have a sway on through the blockchain and logistically. They had a very robust system of trading with the rest of the world. Now 135 countries are being affected by this levying of the really exorbitant tariff, and this is coming to almost blows, and is going to many of the countries and are bleeding under this pressure of although there is a halt for 90 days. I mean, it's like a pause, temporary pause, but given the ominous warning of Trump that it's not full and final and is going to include pharmaceuticals, car manufacturings, and other goods and services under this tariff regime, in the name of safeguarding their losses, and that Trump's claims that there is huge losses, trade imbalances, and deficits. No doubt, the US has a huge deficit and is trying to meet those deficits through this unfair means, in the sense that this is an open global World Trade Organization regime that the world bodies and government heads of states, they unravel the mystery of how the economy works, how the market mechanism delivers the best to one and all, where there is a win-win situation for every participating trade partners. Probably US has the upper hand. It is a hegemonistic dollar diplomacy, dollar dominance, and no doubt, still it goes unabated in the sense that there has never been found any viable alternative options to the dollar, and dollar remains the most trusted, and business trade deals through dollar is made possible and smoother, and the entire world recognizes dollar as a trustworthy, most dependable kind of investment next to gold bullion. And Trump has claimed that it's gaining $1 billion every day, but it has, the administration is yet to sustain this gimmick of trade-off and penalizing and forcing the kind of filthy language that he uses to warn and some of the trading countries that many of the countries are toeing and falling in line and trying to I don't want to even mention what he said, I mean, I mean, kicking. So it's filthy, and it's unbehaving, and it's unparliamentary language to be by president. And his advisor, Elon Musk, who is the second man in command almost, the richest man, the most innovative pioneer, and is paving the way for EV industry. Half the EV industry has been run by him alone, Tesla Motors, but it's not gaining so much momentum. It incurred huge losses. Stockpile of its stocks plummeted, tanked, and seven what we call magnificent companies, they had huge losses to incur because of the uncertainty in the market, and because the investors are not gaining any confidence, and because of this open and shut and green light and red light kind of policy making. As it has paused for 90 days, its mandatory tariff imposition, China being the largest partner, Europe also bracing up for having an alternative trading partner. Russia and China, they have to smile all the way because they are always in a win-win situation. And trade imbalances always go in their favor because Russia is having newer trade pacts with Balkan states and then other countries, and even Europe is trying to forge ahead with its trade relationship with China. China is leading. Out of 10 the pacts, almost 7 pacts are being made with China, Europe, and the other countries. African countries already haven't, kowtowed and fallen in line with, because the offer of Chinese trade is so tempting, and so nobody can say no to this because they don't eye on profit, and they don't go for this ravaging, self-inflicting, self-defeating exercise of like Trump is desperate and is ruthlessly trying to cut down on the trade deficits, and also trying to gain from imports. And finally, ultimately, American will pay a heavy price because this is not the way the market works. When we open up neoliberalism and there was liberal economy where all the countries, the trading partners and all, they survive with certain regulations, with certain pacts, and America is revoking all those pacts. In fact, they stopped funding some of the legitimate organizations in the name of that these are fake organizations, people are getting paid for nothing. I would mention one example, as you said, is United Nations poverty alleviation program, where the fund for eradication of poverty, of diseases, and they go for research and fundings. And so this is despicable, and this is deplorable as well, because all the trade agreements and pacts made from the previous governments, you don't stick to them, you're going to abide by the regulations and frameworks, and which have been developed over 5 decades, and it always tilted towards U.S. hegemony, and U.S. has gained a lot. And in fact, it has been the prime mover. It has been the apex possession of, as I told, research and funding, innovations, technological prowess. And today, China is competing, and it's already, it's like neck to neck, shoulder to shoulder, and China is, foreign policy and trading policy are far more effective, and China has already warned that it's going to stop trading, import, and it's going to, it's like tit for tat. And they're also going to impose hefty levies on the goods, and in fact, the US will be a loser. They always start losing, like I've told 7 magnificent companies like Apple and Nvidia and Facebook, and these Apple got the biggest hit because if it's the tariff is imposed, a phone of $1,000 will cost 1,400. Who's going to pay so much for these kind of devices? And you can't pay a fortune for just a simple device. So manufacturing unit, research and development, and the price rocketing prices world over. What China is a gimmick of now it has started showing on social media and TikTok that is going to cut the intermediaries and these companies. That the way the modern manufacturing factories and all that work, like something is made here, something is made there, and then assemble. No car maker is making every spares and all this. It's just like a joint venture, a collaboration. It's a kind of too many hands to cook, and then the final finished products that are being marketed. And so the worst scenario will be this rejigging of, reviewing of this logistics. And I see an AI intervention in finding this bottlenecks of trading routes and shipments and logistics, and freight and forwarding scenario will change, because now every company will look for newer partner. Every country is going to have newer trade paths, will have alternative ways of dealing with the businesses. And world over, tourism also gone, has taken the largest hit recently. Boeing's, I'm reminded of China has cancelled thousands plus Boeings from USA, and it says it's halting its import or sale proceeds, and it's going to have its own. So the other Airbus manufacturers gaining out of it. So Tesla being 40% chunk of the EV industry. Earlier, and gaining, and its stock has plummeted simply because BYD from China, the car maker, is competing head to head, and it's almost gained a mileage because the kind of cost effective and kind of features and all, it's incomparable. And then BYD is going to be the EV king. Trump needs to rethink, and because he's being guided by these plutocracy, oligarchies like Russians, and Elon Musk is in the lead think tank. He is the second man, like DOJ, that's Department of Government Efficiency. Whether his intervention is going to make the government sectors and all more efficient, or more liable to be cheated, or more liable to collapse ultimately, because this border security and kind of deportations, and the way Trump is upbeat about beating the bush and pushing all the even the legal ones, not the criminal records, being sent back to the country, sending a very wrong message and earning a very tainted, bad name of. So USA has been the USA on account of its being one of the best example of truly democratic nations, with human rights, least to human rights violation, with press freedom, with a kind of multilateral, and without any much of the evils that beset the African countries, and it hasn't suffered any coup attempts, or there have been. So, but we need Democrats and Republicans are not on the same page, and Trump is issuing presidential edicts, or like edicts, he's issuing one after the other. And the implementation part is left to Elon Musk, and he makes sure with his team of bright individuals, because obviously he is capable of employing thousands of best brains from chosen or gleaned from all over the world to make sure that Trump's presidential orders are executed with a kind of desirable outcome, and it really regains the America First and Super America and American dreams of. So although most of the dreams appear to be shaken, shattered, and in general people are really losing the front that the goods are really expensive, they're off the shelves, there have been no eggs to buy from, and then this import duties or export are going to hit, get a greatest hit. And it's going to disrupt the entire chain of supply, the supply chain. That's where the innovative AI intervention comes in, where it locates and it in the real time it surveys, and it also keeps track of where the shipments are offloaded and are stuck, or where is the. So the port scenario can be managed and going to be maneuvered with the help of AI intervention, because they will see that their perishable items don't get stuck because of the official formalities. So what I'm trying to tell that Trump's drastic moves, in fact, his ominous warnings to the rest of the world, and also its failure on the fronts of striking a deal with Iran, or also Palestinian cause being in the back burner now, because it's a passive onlooker, it's not doing anything, and then it's incurring the wrath of its opposition, Democrats, and there's a disgruntlement among the bureaucrats, because he's on the spree of firing people who had jobs, and so instead of ensuring jobs and removing unemployment, which could be the all-time low, unemployment could be all-time high, because when we have lesser investment, we have more disruption, the companies are losing, stocks are not right, and it's all like Dow Jones, and so overnight it was like $1 trillion wipe off. So $1 trillion is like it's a huge sum, and Apple is in trouble. Then metaverses and these Nvidia is not doing fine. Then we have those car makers. I'm not talking about pharmaceutical and health industry. So every sector, whether it's tertiary or whether primary, or they're all getting the wrong signals, and Trump administration has to look into this disruption as paving the way forward, not to forging ahead with the world economic trades pacts in the right. Again, should have been. It was a win-win situation for 50 years. I can see that. I remember when WTO was created and India became a party of, and there was a celebration like open door policy, open economy, where competition and the prices and supply chain, they determine the volume of the trade. They also determine the profits and gains. They also, there's no hegemony or dominance or monopoly. So it was fantastic, mechanism, kind of system that we have developed over the years with all the economies, a think tank, and it was smoothly going on. We could bail out the depressions and also post-corona pandemic, and so everything was fantastic, and we could find kind of smooth ride, and despite all the bumps ahead. But Trump decisions could make or mar the future of USA. As a world trading leader, China is almost behind us, when it's second among the first. And since AI revolution, every country is no more a manufacturing economy, and we're not dealing with the industries or agro-based industry or iron, steel, and all that. Those days are gone. And now we have the knowledge foundries and knowledge creation, and digitized world with the AI, so it's going to alter the face of the earth. In the next 5 to 10 years, we'll see that services are the key to gaining mileage on the economic front. It's no more the manufacturing units, because robotics everywhere, all the companies and enterprises are being managed by AI-led machines, and machines are getting smarter, as smart as humans, and it's almost comparable with them. So we'll be rarely minding our regular jobs, repetitive jobs. They'll all be replaced by robotics, and somehow we'll have to redefine our roles as humanity, and we'll have to look into newer ways of making profits, and the world is one economy now. It's interrelated, it's interdependent, and it's mutual rivalry, mutual animosity. They won't pay any country. So I've heard that Europeans are really bracing up. They're going to break the yoke from USA dominance, and US has always been the guardian and the protector, and NATO is under threat. And more countries are having newer pacts, newer currencies also, and the world might operate differently with the cryptocurrency getting to the mainstream trading system. So this is just a synopsis of what is unfolding, and USA, the Trump administration has to rethink and revalue, and it also has to, because it's not abiding by those pacts and agreements, and if the government heads and they go on breaking the law, and do not abide by the kind of trade pacts from the earlier regimes, this is obviously, it's a breach of faith, breach of trust, and breach of mutual existence. So best of luck to USA in its drive to regain its American first, American dream, and all that, but it shouldn't come at the cost of the social welfare schemes, and more unemployment, more resentment, and more of the calamities, natural or man-made. So I'm wishing the very best for the world heads to forge ahead with newer ways of finding amicable solutions, of newer trade pacts, and this tariff must be tackled, including India, and government should also deal with the tariff new regime tactfully, because it's one of the larger partners and trade partners, and trade imbalances might really jolt and bring about upheavals in the economic system. Thank you very much for listening to me.